What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So if you've been watching the news today, you've probably seen on social media, you've probably been keeping up with current events, maybe you've even seen stories like these ones. This one that says large rail union rejects deal, renewable strike possible. Rail union rejects labor deal brokered by Biden administration, raising possibility of strike. And something like this. The threat of a freight railroad strike is back, but not until next month. Have you seen those? Well, those are real. We now have more reports as to who has rejected the deal and why. I want to address what's going on. Now, I've been getting a lot of comments and emails, statements from railroad workers, their family, and just people that have some input to provide. And I want to explain what some people are saying, and I will talk about that at the end of this video. But let's first go over what these articles are actually trying to tell you. And every single one, doesn't matter which article you read, doesn't matter which video you watch, which interview, it doesn't matter. They're all going to say the same thing. That is that the Brotherhood of Maintenance of Way employee divisions, they voted down the 5-year contract that was negotiated last month. Now, the Brotherhood of Maintenance of Way Employees Division is actually the third largest union. The third largest. They have, I believe it's like 20-some thousand members. The two biggest ones have more than 50,000. Okay, so they pretty much hold the majority. Now, here's what this means. By pretty much voting this down, they are turning down the 24% raise. They're turning down the up to $5,000 in bonuses. And they did not like, and this is the main thing, they didn't like the fact that they'd get only one additional extra paid day off. And it came with multiple restrictions as to when they could actually use it. Now, you're probably wondering, well, okay, if there's actually 23,000 members inside this particular union. Well, out of the 23,000, only 12,000 people voted. Almost half, okay? A little over half the people voted, half the members voted in this. And out of the 12,000 people that voted, 57% of the Brotherhood of Maintenance of Way Employee Division, they voted not to accept the deal, which means only 43% voted to accept the deal. Honestly, this is much better than what many experts actually predicted. So that's pretty good. But let's talk about the reasoning as to why members voted against this. And it's because they say that their contract, in their contract, they still don't feel that the railroads care about their quality of life. And again, I've told you this before. This is going to be a big thing. When they say quality of life, they mean it. They don't want to be told when they have to schedule their doctor's appointments. And it has to be scheduled 30 days in advance. They don't want to be told that. They don't want to be limited as to when they can schedule their appointments. Like, only on Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays. No, they don't want that. And in the past 2 years, we have seen that our quality of life has somewhat diminished, right? This is something that the railroad workers are adamant on, that they will strike if their quality of life is not improved, okay? However, just keep this in mind. The soonest, and again, and this is the toughest part about all this, is over the past 2 years have taught us anything, is that sometimes scheduling an appointment, on a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday is difficult. Scheduling an appointment, and it's like, no, I need it 45 days out. It has to be on this day at this time. It's difficult, especially if you can go to the doctor. Yeah, it's tough. You want to go talk to your insurance agent? Yeah, come right in. But you want to go to the doctor and get a checkup and maybe get some routine work done? Well, you get the time that they give you. That is it. And so that's what these workers are telling us. Something else they need to keep in mind is even if there's a strike, the soonest that a strike would even happen is November 19th. Now, this has nothing to do with, okay, I don't want to say nothing to do. It doesn't really have a lot to do with the midterm elections. Now, could this play into this? Obviously, yes. If they go on strike after the midterm elections, it wouldn't matter what happened, whether Democrats won or lost or whatever. It doesn't matter. But what you need to understand is that right now, the two largest unions that represent the engineers and the conductors, they won't even count their votes until November 17th. They have their own rank and file voting system that they're doing. So for all those reports that say a strike could change the course of the midterm elections, we won't have an answer on the strike until almost 2 weeks after. So that's complete garbage that people are telling you that. That's not the way it's going to be. We're not going to have an answer for over a month. We will not have an answer. So I just want to fill you in on that because I know a lot of people are worried that, oh, they voted against it, we're going on strike. Well, we could. Good news here is they're going to continue to negotiate. They voted it down. Doesn't mean it's the end of it. They're going to continue to try and negotiate, figure out how they can create a better deal, right? How they can come to an agreement. Maybe they don't get a big raise, but by giving up a raise, they can maybe get an extra day off or not have as many restrictions, right? But let's hear from some of the community members as to what they are saying and what their thoughts are on this entire situation. And just keep in mind that, yes, I did ask all these community members, and no, I didn't, verify, but they all say that they either work or they are part of a family that does work. Somebody does work in the railroads. So Shelly, I'm not sure her last name. She says, "My husband has missed our 3 kids' births because of scheduling conflicts with the railroad. We can't have that anymore." Now, I would feel, I wouldn't feel great if I was working and I missed my child's birth. I just wouldn't feel great. But at the same time, missing it, I don't know. It's just a difficult situation to be in. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, what you think of all this. Daniel says, "We aren't far from reaching an agreement, but they must know we are serious about our quality of life. We can't keep missing critical appointments when it comes to our health. Our health must come first." And I talked about this before where somebody was supposed to, and this is a true story, somebody I think back in April, May, were supposed to go into a doctor. He missed his appointment, couldn't go to the doctor because he was working, right? He obviously couldn't make it. So by the time he got sick, and this was in June or July, he got sick. Obviously had to go to the doctor. It was critical, and then he ended up passing away, I believe, like 2 or 3 weeks later. So health is extremely important. If you don't have health, you have nothing, right? It's going to be very difficult. Then another community member sent me an email and said this, and I quote, "As a conductor for the railroads for more than 28 years, I can tell you one thing. We are not against going on strike. I've been part of many talks to go on strike, and in most cases, we work out a deal. I have a gut feeling that we will get a deal done this time as well. There's just too much riding on us not to be able to." Now, I wanted to throw that one in there. And I've received dozens of comments and handful of emails. But I wanted to throw that one in there because he says he's a conductor. He has been a conductor for more than 28 years. And they've had talks before, but in most cases they work out a deal. They don't go on strike. And he says he has a gut feeling that they're going to get a deal done this time because there's just too much riding on it. There is. There's a lot riding on this. And I think that's where most people completely forget that if the railroad were to go on strike, this means the automotive industry would just be crippled. Oil, the movement of oil across the United States, just deliveries in general. When it comes to farming, food, it doesn't matter what it is. A lot of products move because of our rail system. So it would cripple our economy. And according to a report last month, they're saying that it would be into the tune of about $2 billion a day. Some say it could be closer to $3 to $4 billion a day. It really just depends. So again, this could end very badly, but we will know soon enough. And when I say soon enough, I'm talking about like 5 weeks. We will have an answer in about 5 weeks as to whether or not we are potentially going to go on strike. But the good news is they're going to continue to negotiate. So that means we just have to sit here and wait. Hopefully things are going to turn out for the best, but we will have to wait and see. What I do promise you is I will be here every step of the way. I will fill you in on all the latest news and updates. As soon as we get more information, I promise I will bring you that as soon as possible. So again, thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.